you had 11 different scorers on the roster tonight. I mean, is that just the ideal preseason game for you?
Yeah, I think that's something that certainly we believe we have this year is good depth. I think that Jason Carmanos and Jeremiah Crow, our head pro scout, do a really good job of identifying players about the non-drafted players, right? Not the prospects. Players that fit our identity, that fit the way we want to play, that are the kind of people we want to have in our locker room. And I thought a lot of those guys did a really good job tonight. Brown and Giroux and Fiddler Schultz and guys like that, Mersch's little brother, that gave us honest, hard minutes and contributed on the score sheet as well.
How did you like the law firm?
The law firm of Mersch. I had a good kick out of the fact that the goal, I think they both were on their knees. That was pretty funny. They did a lot of good things. I mean, we all know what our captain is, but Dom's a darn good player in his own right. He's here because of the kind of player he is, not because of Michael. Like his brother, loud on the bench, engaged, pulling guys into the fight with him. A loud bench is an engaged bench together, and a quiet bench is usually selfish. And not bad selfish, just if you're quiet, you're usually worried about yourself. When you're loud, you're usually connected with your teammates. And he's just like his brother in that regard. And it's a neat moment to have for the two of them, for them to have a point. Steggy cut the puck in half, and we gave them half each there. With what our captain has meant to us the last couple of years, to be able to share that moment with their family was pretty cool.
The opposites meant a lot too, and you moved in with Kisikoff and Neuchef. What did you see there?
Yeah, I thought that early on, I thought we were getting leaned on in the D zone. I thought that Neuchef and Kisikoff were being stuck in the D zone a little bit. I thought Jobst would help them get on offense, and then I thought Brown seemed to work better with Mersch, and they scored a goal that way and created some good offensive chances. So, Jobst, he comes up with so many pucks in all three zones that his line usually gets to play offense a lot because he wins puck battles and faceoffs at a pretty high rate. And I thought that allowed Neuchef and Kisikoff to be in more good offensive positions, and then I thought they made a lot of plays in the second half of the game because of that.
Kisikoff, like you expect him playing 80 games, or sorry, he'll play 80, what, 72 or 68 or
90 something.
Well, that's yeah.
Yeah.
Is he at that stage?
We believe he is. I mean, he played, I think, 48 last year, so it wasn't like, we balanced him as he fatigued down the stretch to train him and lift him more to prepare him for this year, but he still played 48 games last year. He scored 6 goals. He did a lot of good things. He's had a very good summer.
How much bigger is he?
That's a good question. I'd have to look at the pounds. I think he's 14 up from this time last year. What he is up from the end of last year to now, I'm not sure. But he's had a lot of muscle. He's more confident with the puck on his stick right now, which is a really good thing.
New draftees first game for them in Rochester. Who's that? The new draftees that are having the line time.
Yeah, so Novikov, Neuchef, are those the only two tonight, I think? Novikov. So I thought that's, what Nadeau is? Nadeau's a hockey player. He looks better sometimes in games. He's very comfortable in high traffic areas. And so sometimes in practice that always isn't simulated, but in games his intelligence and his willingness to be heavy on the puck in hard areas. I thought he made a lot of little plays tonight that put his line mates in for offense. I thought Novikov did a really good job for his first game in the American League. We're throwing a lot at him right now. He played minimal minutes in the KHL, but it was in the KHL. They played a different style of hockey. They didn't do any angling or surfing. It was more pinching and running north. And I mean, you think about new country, young, away from home, language, totally different style of play, smaller ice sheet. I think he's handling it pretty good. And then I thought that we saw little glimpses with Neuchev of how talented he is and how creative he is. He made a lot of plays tonight. So I thought all of them showed pretty good tonight.
What have you seen so far in Cooley? What do you like?
Cooley? I like how hard he competes. He turned it over, but that save there, it just shows, it kind of embodies, it's never going to be from lack of effort or competitiveness. And I think the guys, teammates, that wins teammates over. When they know that guy in net is battling for them and battles for them in practice and plays like that. I thought he was excellent in the first period because we weren't good in the first. We easily could have been down by 1 or 2 at the end of 1. He was really good in the first, allowed us to get the lead, and then take the game from there.
Did you know much about him?
I've seen him. He's an American kid that I've seen since he played junior hockey, and then he went to the University of Denver. So I have seen him since he was 16 or 17 years old. And I always remember liking him because he's big, athletic, and competitive. And for a goaltender, those are good places to start.
Looks like around 15 returns from last year, regular players. Is that intentional regarding the chemistry and the success of last year?
Yeah, I mean, I think some of it is when you have as young of a team as we have, there's still a lot of guys on the entry-level deals. And so there are going to be automatic returns, especially because I think we have a lot of guys on our team that 2 or 3 years ago would have made Buffalo. But Buffalo's very good now, and it's a harder roster to make. So we've got those guys back. And then, we're very intentional about the veterans that we surround our young players with. Mersch, Prow, Jobst, Warren, now bringing Richards in. Guys that are not only very good players, but winning players, do things the right way, practice the right way, train the right way, which is all things that we want our prospects to emulate and learn from.
You talked to Brett Murray since clearing?
Yeah, I called him probably at 2:05. And it's always a hard day. It's his first time going through waivers, and you're getting sent down, so there's the natural disappointment of that because he had a very good camp. And then the unknown of am I being claimed by another team or not? And as exciting as that would be to go to the NHL, it's also you'd have to change organizations. It's a lot to process. And so I just couldn't be more proud of the player he's turned himself into because 3 years ago it wasn't considered that he was a guy that was an NHL player or knocking on the door to be an NHL player. And it's a real credit to him. He's been a massive piece of our success here. And so my message was take a breath, come down here and be with your buddies, and take a breath this weekend. He won't play tomorrow, and get your mind right, and then get ready to get back to work on Monday.
You plan to use a lot of the guys who didn't play tonight tomorrow?
Most of the guys that didn't play tonight will play tomorrow, with the exception of the recent guys that got sent down. Kulik, Rosane, Murray will not. Talked about Murray already. Cooley and Rosie had rookie camp, had main camp, played a lot of games, played a lot of minutes. So it just didn't feel it was necessary. The other guys that were out tonight, we held some guys out tonight to make sure we had a good competitive lineup tomorrow as well. Slaggert, Warren, Kozak, guys like that. And then there'll be a chunk of guys that are fighting for roster spots that will stay in the lineup and play again tomorrow. And some of those guys did a really good job tonight.
How long?
That's a good question. I don't think it's an injury that we don't have a total timetable on. It's not long term, but it's upper body. It's probably a couple weeks. So likely miss the opener, and then probably be week to week, day to day after that.